Here's how to mix your own garden soil to save a lot of money. Hey everyone, Dave with On Deck Gardening, where I show you how to grow your own food, just in case. Now, if you're gonna grow in raised garden beds or grow pots, or in my case, 5-gallon buckets, you're gonna want a really good garden soil. Now, you could go to the Home Depot, Lowe's, or your local nursery and buy already made potting mix, but you're gonna spend a lot more money. When I first got into gardening, that's exactly what I did. I bought a bunch of bags of potting mix, and it did get a little pricey because I was trying to fill these raised beds up with it. But then I discovered Mell's Mix. The Mell's Mix is 3 simple ingredients. It's 1/3 compost, 1/3 perlite, and 1/3 peat moss. Buying these separate and mixing it yourself is gonna save you a lot of money, and everything grows in this mix really well. As far as the compost goes, I just stick with normal cow manure. This is my favorite brand. I could get it at my local Home Depot. The second ingredient is perlite. This is basically like really small pumice stones, and this enables oxygen to be within the soil and helps the root structure develop on the plant a lot more efficiently. And the third ingredient is actually peat moss. I don't have a bag of it. I have it in my bin over here. It just makes it easier for me to work with. But all 3 of these I just buy at my local Home Depot. So usually when I mix this, I do 5-gallon buckets, but I'm just gonna use 2-gallon buckets because I don't need a big batch of soil. And again, it's just 1/3 of each of these. But the first one you're gonna wanna mix is the peat moss. The reason why is peat moss, unless it's wet, it's gonna actually repel water. So you wanna start with the peat moss, put it in wherever you're mixing it. I use a wheelbarrow. You're gonna wanna put it in there and add some water until when you pick up a handful and squeeze it, there's some drops coming out. So we're gonna start with that. I apologize for the background noise. I swear every time I'm gonna shoot a video, someone's doing yard work. Okay, so this is where my peat moss is. So I'm just gonna fill this 2-gallon bucket with, and I wanna break it apart as I go, because if you don't, it's just in large chunks. But I want a full bucket of peat moss. All right, so we got the peat moss. I'm gonna dump it in my wheelbarrow, and I like to dig through with my hand, because you can see there are some chunks, and just break up all the big chunks. So it's just nice and fine in here. And then once I'm done with that, I'll spread it out nice and even, and then spritz it with some water, and I'll show you that right now. And real important, you don't want to make this soaking wet. So I just kind of just go over the top like this, let it sit in for a little bit, and then I always go in like a figure-8 motion here, kind of up and down until it's totally mixed in, and then I'll give it the squeeze test. So I'll pick up a handful and then squeeze it, and see there's some drops of water coming out. So that is just the right amount of water for this. So no more water added. Now we can add the perlite. Perlite, after I dump it, I walk away because it's got like a fine dust. Don't want to breathe it in, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Now, a little trick for the perlite, so as you're mixing it, it's not wafting it, you're not breathing it all in, is just to spritz it with some water. Perfect. Now we got to add the cow poop. So this is where all the nutrition comes in the soil, is the compost. The peat moss does add a little bit of nutrition. It helps balance the pH as well, but this is really where the real nutrition comes in. Okay, all that is left now is just to take my shovel and mix this so it's perfectly mixed together. And there you have it. 3 ingredients, not expensive ingredients, saves you a lot of money, and everything will grow in here really well. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Make sure you subscribe, and if you liked it, share it.